So Bilal, remember the name Muhammad, aka Bully B, the current welterweight champion of the UFC, uh, just released his fight plan against Dricus du Plessis. Um, he talked essentially what he's saying is that it would be relatively easy for him to become champ, move up to middleweight and challenge for the belt. Um, and he gave pretty much punch by punch how we do it. Starting out with utilizing straight punches. And straight punches have shown to be pretty effective against a guy like Dricus. Um, Not as much as they were a while ago, around the time when Dricus fought Strickland. It seems like Dricus has improved with, defending and slipping jabs and crosses. But against a guy like Bilal's really good with striking, so I think the straight punches would be effective. Bilal's also talking about being able to slip away from the Dricus blitz and then immediately attack for a takedown, get the takedown, and pretty much, utilize ground and pound while having Dricus on the ground. And then kind of just rinsing and repeating until Dricus is very uncomfortable on the ground to where Bilal says he will be able to submit Dricus, probably via rear naked choke. Um, Seems like a calculated plan. I do agree with Bilal on the effectiveness of straight punches against Dricus, especially when Dricus utilizes the blitz. What I disagree with is how helpless Dricus will be on the ground, because Dricus has never really looked very helpless on the ground. The motherfucker is very strong, very energetic, and I think um, he's gonna he's not gonna have a hard time reversing positions. I don't think he has a hard time reversing positions against anybody. Probably will against Kamzat, but besides Kamzat, not really anybody has a chance of pinning Dricus to the ground. Um, that being said, Bilal is full of surprises, and he does train under Camp Khabib, so that Dagestani grappling know-how will absolutely be effective. I just question how effective it will be, especially against a Herculean fighter like Dricus du Plessis. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like on the feet, again, Bilal really good, really great on the feet. The 1-2 could definitely be an issue for Dricus. Slipping away from Dricus's blitz, also possible. Um, Especially if you just time it, but timing it is hard given how awkward Dricus is on the feet. It's just, everything that Bilal said about the grappling, that's what I disagree with. Um, yeah, bottom line, Dricus doesn't really seem that helpless on the ground, so helpless that Bilal will be able to pin him there, ground and pound relentlessly, and then somehow slip in a rear naked. I don't see it happening. I think a key game plan for Bilal would probably just have to be outboxing and outstriking Dricus. I do think Bilal will be able to defend the Dricus takedown. However, I do think that Dricus will have a tough time taking down Bilal. And again, that's just given, because of the Dagestani ground game. When you're fucking training in Dagestan, or if you're training day after fucking day under a UFC legend like Khabib Nurmagomedov, you're gonna be able to defend the takedown at a relatively well rate, if not an extremely well rate. So I do think the two things Bilal has going for him is the 1-2 on the feet and takedown defense, which I think is a really good combination against a fighter like Dricus. So a fight between Bilal and Dricus du Plessis is definitely a entertaining one that I think I would definitely have a hard time fully calculating or fully like kind of predicting. I think I'd have a hard time about it because there's a back and forth here. The Dricus blitz is effective. I don't know how effective it will be against Bilal, given how good Bilal is on the feet. Dricus' takedowns, relentless and effective. I don't know how relentless and effective they will be against a guy that is constantly training under Khabib. I don't know how effective those two things are going to be. Dricus will come out strong. I don't even know how strong Dricus can be in comparison to Bilal, because Bilal is strong. Bilal fucking turned Leon Edwards on his head, you know? Um, and I'm not saying Leon is some sort of crazy high level, expert grappler, but Bilal picked him the fuck up and flipped him over. So, that's saying something. So, yeah. Bottom line, my full take is this. I think Bilal has a good chance of beating Dricus. I think that a fight between him and Dricus is interesting. And I think Bilal is not, crazy for saying he would win. I don't think Bilal would win easily. I think it's going to take grit and focus, but I don't think it's going to be extremely difficult for Bilal either. And then overall, I disagree with Bilal's kind of like I disagree with Bilal's pathway to victory. I don't think the pathway to victory for Bilal is going to be submitting Dricus. I don't think Bilal will be able to submit Dricus. I think Bilal will be able to beat Dricus via unanimous decision after being able to weaponize straight punches, good takedown defense, and just really crisp, clean boxing. There is, however, the question about the Dricus kick. Dricus' kicks are very powerful and sharp, but I do think Bilal will be able to defend those well. So I don't think the kicks will be an issue for Bilal. I think it's just what Bilal would need to focus on and use to win, again, is just the boxing and the takedown defense. Grappling, okay, maybe Bilal can also use takedowns as well. I think Bilal could get takedowns on Dricus. It's just more so holding Dricus to the ground. That's going to be an issue. I don't think Bilal can hold Dricus. I don't think Bilal can pin Dricus, I think it's more so about getting takedowns against Dricus, piecing up Dricus on the feet, and defending Dricus' takedowns. And I think the combination of those could give Bilal a win. It's very possible that, the switch in weight class for Bilal gives Bilal issues and somehow Dricus is able to overpower him. I just think Bilal is underrated in the eyes of many fans. And I think Bilal is good enough to give Dricus problems. So if Bilal was somehow able to beat Shavkat Rakhmonov and move up and fight Dricus, call me fucking crazy. I think Bilal's got it. I like Dricus. Not a dig to him at all. I even have Dricus beating Khamzat Chimaev. I just think Bilal is, even in comparison, let's compare Bilal to Khamzat. I think Bilal is better striking than Khamzat. And I think it's going to need good striking and good grappling to give Dricus problems. And I think Bilal has both of those. Khamzat is striking. It's just not as good as Dricus is. I think Khamzat's more of a really aggressive, strong grappler. And the problem with Khamzat fighting Dricus is that I think Dricus is also a really strong and powerful and aggressive grappler. So I think Dricus will be able to beat Khamzat. But I think Bilal will be able to beat Dricus. But overall, you let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But most importantly, subscribe. I love you guys. And I'll see you all in the next.